Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, I said I would do a video and a post today comparing this clone to the original. Now, I actually had these already planned to do a video, but shit just kept getting in my way. Being very careful not to scrape the blades of these with my pocket knife. The ironicity of using a knife to open a knife. Now, what are these? Well, these are two knives that are currently on sale at your local Menards. This one for 88 cents after rebate. The copper knives like $1 something after rebate. As we can see here, they're pretty much the same damn knife, except one has a copper coating and one doesn't. And I'm not even sure this is real copper, just copper paint. But we will go through some pretty standardized testing. One, the test of paper. Not bad. Sharp. Now for the copper knife. Okay. So far, it seems that the copper knife has just a bit more of a keen edge to it. But let's try some thinner paper. This is a hunting guide for Indiana. First, the copper knife. Alright. Next, the clone. Alright. So far, these seem pretty much identical. I will say I think I felt just a slight bit less resistance with the clone knife than with the copper knife because it didn't have this copperized coating. Now, the knife itself is called Forever Knife. Never needs sharpening. Made of laser cut forged stainless steel. Smooth, razor sharp, delivers perfect and smooth clean cuts every time. Cutting edge design provide less friction while slicing and chopping so food sticks less. Lightweight and easy to use. Food doesn't stick. We'll find out in a moment. Cutting edge design provides less friction while slicing. Super smart, laser sharp. Same shit on the back. Dishwasher safe. Store safely for future use. Next we'll go to the copper. Stainless steel overcut out design to reduce friction and keeps slices from sticking. Same basic shit with the copper knife. The reason I bought this today was simply because these are the same exact knives. It's just you're paying almost $1 difference for the copper knife brand and name versus the clone knife. And we're going to see just what these two knives can do. As I shall be right back with the testing mediums. And I am back. I have two tests to perform with these knives, one being a pool noodle and the other food prep as the knives are supposed to do. We will start with peeling said potato. Of course I'm going to end up eating it. So, without further ado, don'ts and probably shouldn't, let's get started. Now, generally speaking, with a knife this big, you wouldn't actually normally peel a potato. This is usually done with a paring knife. However, this is a review slash test of the copper knives plus their clone. Kind of a consolidation of two videos. I will say this, the size of the knife alone is making it quite difficult for me to really peel the potato, as I am more accustomed to using a paring knife while peeling these than a small chef's knife that this is supposed to mimic. But the purpose of these knives are basically to be cheap little knives that either a college student could afford to buy for their dormitory, or say you just moved into a house and you don't really have a lot of cutlery, for someone to give as like a housewarming present or a holiday stocking stuffer. You know, more novelty in my opinion. Now I will say this, this is supposed to reduce sticking, and I'm having quite a bit of sticking going on with the potato peels. In fact, every peel is sticking on the blade. So, I don't know what the oval cutouts were for. They're supposed to reduce food sticking. They're not really working. And honestly, this is kind of hurting my hands a little bit. Simply because of the size of the blade. Now, there's one other thing that I'm finding kind of annoying, and I think is another contributing factor to why this is kind of hurting my hands. It's the fact that this blade is so damn thin, so light as it was. Not really scoring points for me in terms of food prep. Because these blades are so thin and so light, I really don't feel like I can use them to do a lot of detailed food prep. There's a reason why most high quality chef's knives have a certain amount of weight to them. Why good quality knives have weight to them. And that's simply because you can let the weight of the knife do the work. In this instance, I feel like I'm using my hands to do all the work peeling these potatoes. And I have to constantly be controlling the knife and constantly keeping the knife from going too deep into the potato. Not to mention the fact that I'm also having to outstretch my thumb far more than when I'm using a paring knife in order to keep my hands from coming into contact. This being the clone knife. I will say this, I find that the clone knife is having a little more resistance with the potato than the copper fin did. So, in terms of food prep, the copper coating seems to actually help the knife slide more. But I'm definitely feeling the stress more with the clone knife than what I was feeling with the copper knife. Ooh, I do not like that at all. Took off way too big a chunk of potato. I mean, if I really pay attention with the paring knife I have, I'm able to pretty much peel a potato and only lose a very minuscule amount of potato per peeling. This, I lost quite a bit of potato. We can see the stark difference. Now, these potatoes were of different sizes, but as you can see with the copper knife potato, it's much cleaner than the clone knife potato. Now, not to say I'm not still going to eat them, because I am. But now we're moving on to the next test. This being the pool noodle. And I'm just going to hold the pool noodle while I cut this because it's a very short blade and I don't really need to worry about cutting my hand because I'm going to be cutting the top of half. So, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Clone knife. Okay. That's concerning. Again, that's concerning. Okay. That cut. That cut. And that cut. The difference between these two knives on the pool noodle is so minute that it doesn't really change much. But if I'm being completely honest, when it came to the pool noodle, I actually think I felt just a hair less resistance with the clone knife, the Forever Sharp, versus the copper knife. Now there's one other claim to fame that these knives make, and that's that they never need sharpening. Wow. Don't make that claim around me. Actually kind of cut a little bit into my knife, I'm not gonna lie. Now then, see how sharp it is now. Never need sharpening my ass. 4 or 5 swipes against the back of a metal knife and it's dull. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Outlaw, that's unrealistic. You can't expect a knife, a kitchen knife, to stay sharp after putting it through such abuse. Look at my Blue Diamond kitchen knife review, okay? That damn thing is unbluntable unless you put it to the back of a steel blade. And something I honestly should have done after the prep was... Okay, obviously, no need to worry about that. I have 2 copper knives, so this is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 passes with the copper knife. And we'll see. Same result, completely blunted. And again, I know what you're going to say. And actually, the copper knife, I think, is bent. Yeah, it's bent. So's the clone knife. I know this is stupid. You should not do this. but for science. Well, that's actually pretty good. The clone knife seems to have a higher edge hardness than the copper knife, considering that it cut into the copper knife. See that little glint spot right there? And this one, cut mark being right there, by the way, you can see, honestly, there's no real damage. In fact, upon further inspection, this cut into this more. This actually cut into this without any edge damage. So for 88 cents, the clone knife seems to have a better edge tempering than the copper knife. At least that's what my testing has concluded. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If I went too far, if I did something stupid, or Outlaw, you'd never traditionally do these kind of tests with knives. I never claimed to be traditional. Alright? We must test our blades lest they fail us. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons, and I got fried potatoes to make. I'm out. Peace.